today, Jason Johnson, chief political correspondent for Politic 365 and political science professor at Hiram College, and Amy Kremer, chairwoman of the Tea Party Express. Welcome to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Amy. In just about
Carol, welcome back from vacation.
Oh, thanks. It's good to be back. Well, not all the way good, but 95% good. In just about an hour, Wisconsin Congressman Paul Ryan formally unveils the GOP's budget proposal. Ryan's ongoing efforts to repeal Obamacare getting a lot of headlines, but in a Wall Street Journal op-ed, Ryan also talks about his plan to shore up Medicare. Ryan was sharply criticized in the 2012 campaign for wanting to turn Medicare into a so-called voucher system. Perhaps sensing the fight ahead, he writes today in part, quote, anyone who attacks our Medicare proposal without offering a credible alternative is complicit in the program's demise, end quote. Our question, is Paul Ryan right? Amy.
Yes, I think he is right. I mean, the Medicare Trust Fund is going bankrupt. It's not sustainable, and we need to do something about it. So if somebody else has a better plan, step up to the plate and show it. But at the end of the day, these guys and gals cannot continue to kick the can down the road. It's not fair to my generation and people younger than me. We need to take care of our seniors, but you can't do it by kicking the can down the road.
Jason.
He is absolutely right and absolutely wrong. You can't just criticize his plan without a better plan, but his plan itself isn't a good idea. It is still essentially a voucher program, which does not work for long-term sustainability. It does not work for low-income people. So I applaud Paul Ryan for coming up with an idea, but we have seen this idea before. It's basically throw grandma from the train. It's not a good plan.
All right, on to the second question. It has been described as the People's House, but now that the White House tours have been suspended because of those forced spending cuts, the number of people visiting 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue will most certainly be on the decline. Some are accusing the Obama administration of playing politics, including one former Secret Service agent.
Are you seriously going to make the case, the Democrats at this point, that there are no cuts to be found other than keeping school kids out of our house, the White House? It's absurd. Just the idea of it's absurd.
But the White House, which cited the cost of Secret Service agents stationed along the tour route as one of the reasons for the cancellation, says it had no other choice. It had to save money somewhere. Our question, is closing the White House to tourists prudent or pure politics? Jason.
It's pure politics. Look, Barack Obama wants to do something big and symbolic to talk about how the sequester is impacting people. But, you know, he's missing the real story. He should be talking about the faculty members at Johns Hopkins who can't get NIH grants anymore to study cancer research. He should be talking about the people who are being furloughed who only make $25,000, $30,000 a year. This is going to be something big. He can talk about it in the press, but the sequester really is a problem. It should be fixed. This isn't the only way he can go with it.
Amy.
I think it's pure politics as well. I mean, especially right now at spring break when all these kids are taking trips there. The Cherry Blossom Festival is coming up. He's trying to use the media and his bully pulpit to put this out there that the sequester, you know, is hurting everybody. Well, yeah, the sequester has hurt, you know, different departments in the country. But Carol, why doesn't he stop flying back and forth on Air Force One and being on the campaign trail? I'm glad he's finally in Washington and starting to govern. But at the end of the day, that is our house, and we should have those tours going forward. And private people, individuals have stepped up and said they'll pay for those tours.
Yes, they have, in the form of Donald Trump, right?
Yes, okay. Right.
On to the third question. President Obama kicks off a 3-day visit to Capitol Hill today as the White House and Congress try to find common ground on the budget and other second-term agenda items. First stop, the Senate, where the president will be meeting with fellow Democrats. At least one of them, Joe Manchin of West Virginia, says that while it's great President Obama has extended an olive branch to Republicans, he also needs to reach out to his own party. Our question, is President Obama neglecting Democrats? Jason.
No, he's not neglecting Democrats, but this has always been the case with Obama. With friends like these, who needs enemies? He's got cowardly Democrats who won't have his back, and he's got Republicans who hate his guts and won't work on any policy one way or another. The president is trying to get people back to work. He is trying to solve this budget problem, and the fact that Democrats in the Senate are whining every 15 minutes because they didn't get invited to the Tea Party as soon as the Republicans got invited. No joke to Amy Kremer about Tea Party. You know, I think it's pathetic. I think the Democrats need to get in line and get this done because people out there are suffering.
Amy.
Well, I am glad that he's back in Washington and governing, and I think he needs to reach out to everyone. I mean, that is his job. He doesn't just represent the Democrats. He is all of our president. He needs to be leading, and we have serious budget issues that need to be dealt with, and a $16 trillion debt. We cannot continue down this path, and so I'm glad he's in Washington. I'm glad he's finally governing and leading and bringing people together. I just hope they can do something, but Carol, I'm afraid it's not going to happen, and I think the reason he's doing this, honestly, is because we've seen his poll numbers just drop in the past couple of weeks.
That is true, but I'm sure we all hope something gets done soon anyway.
Exactly.
All right. Jason, Johnson, Amy Kremer, thanks for playing today. The pushback on lean in.